welcome to week 7 on a very windy WA morning. My name is Lauren Hollows for Understand TAE, and this week we are going to be covering what is the state of my operations, getting you guys prepared for your annual declaration of compliance. So many of you would be aware that we've got about 3 or 4 more weeks until your annual declaration of compliance is due. And some of you as CEOs, you will all be signing this off, might be starting to stress out a little bit in relation to what you're going to be putting into there and potentially how you're going to be addressing some of the non-compliances that you might have raised throughout the year. Now, I've been into hundreds of RTOs. They all have got little non-compliances here and there to varying extents. So the first thing I want to say to you guys is don't stress out if you have found some non-compliances, as long as you're proactively dealing with them, addressing them, and then making sure that your systems are more robust so that it's easier for you to catch them next time. So there's a couple of standards in and around this. We've got standard 2.1, which basically says we're compliant at all times as RTOs. Standard 8.4 is specific to the declaration of compliance, and it says that you are compliant currently and you've been compliant for the last 12 months, and you've got ways that you can report those ones differently. And then it says that you've got TAEs and practices in place to ensure that all current and prospective students moving forward will be trained and assessed in accordance with the training packages and the standards. 8.4 says you're compliant to all legislation, and 8.5 and 8.6 says that you ensure that your staff and clients are informed of any changes that happen as you guys move forward, as regulatory updates occur. So what are some of the things that you guys need to do when you're looking at tackling this, and how are you going to be talking to your staff about it? So this is probably primarily starting to be developed by either like your senior training manager or your compliance or quality division. So you're going to be sitting down and having a chat with them about what's the state of affairs, where are we at, what were some of the common non-compliances that were found throughout the year. And I would say probably for 99% of RTOs, 1.8, which is a standard in and around effective assessment, is going to be non-compliant at some point throughout the year, because basically what that means is that at some point one of your trainers didn't assess it 100%, or your tools weren't 100% compliant, which is very, very common for the vast majority of RTOs. So my first recommendation, guys, is be completely honest about this. If it wasn't 100% throughout the year, then don't turn around and say it was. Don't tick all of the boxes as yes, 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 we were compliant for the whole year, everything was perfect and we're perfect now, because the regulator knows otherwise. They go and they do the audits as well, and they know that the vast majority of RTOs have got issues here and there. So be honest. If you found non-compliances, talk to them, talk about what you've done, and then more importantly, talk about how you've put systems in place to make sure that the issues can be more easily identified in the future. Talk about the rectification that's occurred, and then talk about how you've increased your systems. So we'll do a quick example of this. We went and did a validation, and we found that there was a particular unit that we weren't meeting a criteria, or we weren't evidencing a criteria for as well as we should have. So what we've gone is we've gone back, we've taken a look at the qualifications that we've issued specific to that unit. For all current students, we've made sure that we've updated our tools and we're retraining. We've gone back for the last couple of months, and we've noticed that there were 3 or 4 students that got issued with that qualification that are really not missing that requirement. So we've done some retraining with them. And what we've done is we've put additional strategies in place moving forward that we know that particular to that program or particular to that trainer, we're going to increase the number of validations that we run. We've then also done some training with the particular staff members so that they understand what the issues were and how to address them moving forward. So that kind of covers you holistically for how you've addressed it and how you've ensured that it's not going to happen moving forward in the future. Like I said, guys, it's much better to be honest. These annual declarations of compliance can come up when you do your reviews, when you do your, you can get compliance monitoring audits, and it is really important. If you've turned around and said you're 100% across everything and they find systemic non-compliances throughout your organization, then it's you as the CEO that has really failed to follow through on your internal policies and procedures. So do be honest about it. Talk about how you've addressed it. They're due on the 30th of March. So CEOs, if you haven't started having these conversations and looking at how you're going to be putting these together, the links were sent out to everyone. So start having the conversations with all of your relevant staff and start looking at the plan of how you're going to address this all. Good luck, and I will see you again next week for Understand TAE's Question of the Week. Bye.